सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं त्रोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यात् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येन्माक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Yesterday we were seeing the Karikas 30, 31, 32, and the 30th Karika is a very important one, where Gaudapadacharya ji says that the world is not different from me. When we talk about the world, we are talking about projection, the sustenance of projection, the experience of projection. Three things are referred: the projection, the sustenance of the projection, and the experience. And he said that both the Jagrat, the waking state, as well as the dream state are both projection, but both are projected in me and me alone. And that is Karika number 30, that etaihi esho apruthak bhavaihi pruthak eva ita lakshitaha. Even though it is in me, it appears as though that the projection is outside me. Even though it is appearing, iva pruthag eva ita lakshitaha, pruthag, different from me. The experience is that it is different from me. The experience is that it is outside me. Over here the very important word is prithak iva, as though lakshitaha. It is understood to be that way. Evam yo veda tatvena kalpayet so vishankitaha. In this way, if the Jagrat and the Swapna are understood to be nothing but the projection, in that proper understanding, if one has understood, then Saha Avishankitaha, that person has no doubt. What doubt are we talking about? The doubt whether it is, whether it isn't. The doubt that this world is not capable, whether it is capable or whether it is incapable of creating a destiny, a prarabdha, a joy, a sorrow, a pain, a suffering. All these doubts about the pluralistic world and the pluralistic world created problems all vanish, is what is talked about. Swapnamaye yatha drushte gandharva nagaram tatha yatha tatha vishwamidam drushtam vedanteshu vichakshanaihi. Just like a castle in the sky is seen, just like a projected image is seen in the sky, Gandharva Nagaram, as though a city built up of nothing but notions, all that. Swapnamaye yatha drushte. Swapna, the dream, Maya, the illusion, the dream and the illusion. Swapna also means the mithyatva, the unreal and the illusion, all those things. Yatha drushte, as it is seen. Tatha vishwamidam drushtam. Again he is reiterating the fact that do not make a mistake about the waking state as it being a distinct, it is just like a dream state, but time and again we have to reinforce this idea that it is only a dream state. It is only a projection. It is only a sustenance of the projection is done by me and the experience is me. Why? Because as my mind, so is my projection. As my mind, so is my experience. The experience born out of the world is not independent. It has no independent existence apart from the equipment that I possess, and the quality of the equipment is also known to me. So even the equipment is a projection. So this projection by the equipment are both known, and because they are both known, they are not substantial. They depend upon my presence. They borrow my presence to ascertain their validity, and in this way, yatha vishwamidam drushtam, as it is seen, it is negated. Vedanteshu vichakshanaihi. This is the teaching of Vedanta. Again, the 32nd shloka is also very difficult to comprehend, and the difficulty lies because we feel trapped in this projection. We feel affected by this projection. We feel persecuted by this projection. So we want the projection to end. And we want the happy hour to start now and remain permanently, not an hour. So that suffering in this world over here, Gaudapadacharya ji says that nanirodha, there is no dissolution of this entire projection. Nacha utpattihi. How can there be any dissolution? Because there has been no creation. Na utpatti, it has not come about. Na baddha. Bondage is only there where there is a sense of me being bound by something else. So something else becomes a cause of my bondage. Something else limits me. A sense of limitation is called bondage. When I feel that I am limited, when I feel that something is limiting me, that entity which limits me becomes an obstacle, becomes a source of bondage. So over here, it is nabaddaha, there is nobody who is bound. Nacha sadhakaha, neither is there a spiritual aspirant who is doing any type of spiritual practices. See, we have to understand this very properly. We have to understand this with a pinch of salt. Just because it is said there is no sadhak, that doesn't mean no sadhana is required for us. The sadhanas will come up now. But the picture is painted of the turiya avastha. Again, I am using the word avastha. It is not an avastha because we think that it has to arrive. But turiyam has no arrival, no departure. Turiyam is ever present. Turiyam meaning the awakened state of pure awareness, consciousness. That turiyam, we think that awareness is going to arrive, consciousness is going to arrive, and I am going to be in bliss, and all this sorrow is going to end. For such a person who thinks that they are bound, that person does sadhana, and that sadhak is talked about. So as long as we feel a sense of limitation, we have to study this, we have to assimilate this, and we have to come to live it. Namumukshuhu. There is no one who is desirous of liberation. Who desires liberation? The one who feels that they are not liberated. Why is it said over here that there is no such thing as liberation? Because consciousness alone is. And what is consciousness? Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaha. It is ever eternal, Nitya, Shuddha, it is ever immaculately pure, because there is no second thing impuring it. Buddha, it is ever awakened, it is ever aware of its own presence, it alone is. And Mukta, it is eternally free, it is eternally free from any bondage. There are no bondage because there is no second thing that limits it, second thing that binds it. So there is no mumukshu, there is no sadhak, because sadhana is done to acquire something that we don't have. But consciousness is ever available to itself, so what sadhana will it do? It is always liberated. So what desire will it have to be liberated? So again, this is all from the absolute state. Vedanta becomes a major problem when we interchange the states from which Shastra ascertains the teaching. So please do not forget the fact that these karikas are from the absolute standpoint, and thus iti-esha paramarthata. Paramarthata, this is the absolute state. Again, I am using the word state. It is not a state. This is the supreme truth. This is absolute. So this is what we have seen. Continuing, shloka number 33. Bhavaira sadbhire vayam advayena cha kalpitaha apyavadye naiva tasmad advayata shiva. Bhavai asadbihi eva ayam advayena cha kalpitah bhava api advayane eva tasmad advaita shiva. So in the first line, what is the prose order said over here, that ayam, what is ayam? Ayam atma, this consciousness, this self, this awareness, this presence. What is it? Ayam atma, this self, asadbihi bhavaihi kalpitah cha advayena kalpitah. First line says that this atma, ayam atma, asadbihi bhavaihi kalpitah. This atma is imagined to be asadbihi unreal, bhavaihi objects, kalpitah imagined. This consciousness is imagined to be these unreal objects. Not just that, but the consciousness is also advayena cha kalpitah. Even the non-dual substratum of all these objects is also imagined. This has to be really understood, because up to now we were saying that Atma is the non-dual substratum, it is the substratum of all objects. Over here now it is said even that is imagined. Two things are imagined. The dualistic world is imagined to be Atma, and the Atma as the non-dual substratum of the imagined world, even that is imagined. Now we have to understand, why are these two to be imagined? This shloka, this karika, is based upon the previous two. What is said over here is, the Jagat is mithya, the world is illusion. And if the world is illusion, then the substratum of the illusory world is also illusion. And this is from the standpoint of illusion. Because it is an illusion, the substratum is also a name given to Atma, but really it is never a substratum. Why? Because there was never a world. So how can there be a substratum? In this way, both the world is illusion, because the world is a word, W-R-D. We saw in the very first shloka, first mantra of the Upanishad, this Omkara Eva, A-U-Ma. We saw that this world is a word, and that same word is called substratum. Substratum is also a word, a label for awareness, consciousness. And if that is understood, bhava api advayena tasmat advaita shivaha. That is why over here yesterday I had mentioned that even Advaita is imagined, because I can only say Advaita from the standpoint of Dvaita. Non-dual can only be said because I know what dual is. If there is no such thing as dual, then what is non-dual? So, Mithya Dvaitam and Satya Advaita Adhishthanam, all these technical terms used to understand Vedanta, they are also jargon. Now, until we understand these technical terms are very important, and we have to understand Vedanta. This Upanishad is the roof and crown of all Upanishads. After this, there is no teaching left, because everything is negated. My experience is negated. I am negated. Objects are negated. Non-dual truth is negated. What remains then? The unqualified I. That is it. To even say Aham Brahma Asmi, I am Brahman. To say I am Brahman, it assumes the fact that at one point in time I thought I was not Brahman. Isn't it? So even that is not there. Thus this teaching is very powerful, that there is no such thing as non-dual, but understand that there is no such thing as non-dual from the standpoint of Atma and Atma alone. A rope and a snake. When I have the snake vision is where the snake vision cannot be apart from the rope. The snake is projected only on the rope. The snake cannot be projected on a cup, a table, a book, anything. When I see the rope, in the absence of proper light, I see a snake. But the snake is seen only on the rope. Now, is the snake real? The snake is very real as long as I am convinced it is snake. I will call animal control. I will describe what snake I am seeing. It is a diamond head. It has rattles, but it is not rattling because it has not seen me. I have seen it. I can even fake a nice story to the animal control people. And I can describe it. Oh, I see patches of brown and black and brown and black separated by a shade of some white color. Describe the whole snake. But what is the reality of the snake? There is no such thing as snake. From which standpoint? From the standpoint of the rope, there is no such thing as a snake. The rope knows no snake. The rope has never known the snake. But the support of snake is rope. Can the rope say, I am the adhishthan of the snake? I am the support of the snake. The rope has never known the snake. How can it support a snake? So from the standpoint of the rope alone is, and no meditation rope needs to do. Aham rajjuhu, aham rajjuhu, aham rajjuhu. No meditation a rope needs to do to know that it is a rope. It is knowledge for the rope, I am. So rope requires no meditation. The one who sees the snake is fearful, and because he sees a second thing apart from the rope, which is the snake has to exist somewhere. So the rope becomes the support of the snake. But because the second is seeing, second is limiting it, that it will kill me. It is not just a gopher snake, it is a rattler, and it can bite me. And when it bites me, the poison will start working. When the poison starts working, I don't know if I will be able to drive and reach the hospital. I don't even know if they will have the medicine over there. What if I die? All these projections are because of the snake vision. But if the one who sees the rope, the snake on the rope, if extra light is put over there, the snake vision disappears. Rope alone remains. And in the disappearance of the snake vision, the problems created by the imagined snake also disappear. And what that person is left with is Advaita eva. In that knowledge, when one realizes that there is no such thing as snake, will a person question, when did the snake start? Because we have this question, when did the world start? What was the first vasana? What was the date of the first arrival of the snake? When we realize it is a rope, do we ever question, when did the snake arrive? What is its genus? What is its species? There is no snake. Then why are we analyzing the snake? The same holds true for the Jagat. That is why Jagat over here is Bhavaha api advayena vilinata. All the difference is Bhavaha advayena. In this non-dual, they merge. We never question. Once we see the rope, we never question the snake then. It is a sigh of relief. Thank God it is over. When did it start? Who knows when it started? It started when I walked into the room, when basically ignorance is what started it. But the knowledge put an end to it. The ignorance of the rope started the snake, and the knowledge of the rope ended the snake. That is all. That bhavaha, what is bhavaha? The snake projection of the universe is called bhavaha. That's all. A snake projection meaning all these worlds of, the entire world of name and form. Name and form is what is bhavaha over here. All these bhavaha objects, advayena eva, they are non-dual self. Just like the snake was ever a rope, there was never a snake. In the same way, tasmat advaita shiva, Therefore, non-dual truth, auspicious blessing, basically. Blessing because it removes all ills. It removes all pain. It removes all sorrow. In this way, Turiyam is Advaita Adhishthanam. Turiyam, the fourth awareness, is the Advaita Adhishthanam, support. Adhishthanam of what? Mithya, illusion. The illusion, when it is understood that it is an illusion, illusion goes away, and the support also goes away, because the support is a word. So the truth was never a support. So from its standpoint, it was never a support of illusion, because it never knew the illusion. In this way, everything goes away. That is, you understand when it says that there is no non-dual truth. In this way, there is no non-dual truth from the standpoint of absolute. It alone is. So that is what is talked about. Continuing. Natma bhavena nanedam. Natma bhavena nanedam. Nasvenapi katham chana. Nasvenapi katham chana. Na pruthang kinchit. Na pruthang kinchit. Iti tattvavido viduhu. Iti tattvavido viduhu. Idam. What is idam? This truth is referred to in this karika as idam. This. So over here, this idam nana na. Nana meaning manyness. So this truth, there is no manyness. Nana na. Atma bhavena. Where is this manyness not there? In its own being. Atma bhavena. This truth in its own presence, in its own self, there is absence of manyness, meaning it is absolute, it alone is. Then na svena pikathanchana, and not only is this manyness pluralistic, does not exist in it, but the pluralistic vision also cannot exist independently from it. Because who experienced pluralistic world? Some other object? No, it is me. I, the non-dual truth, experience the duality. So in me, as the absolute, there is no duality. But the duality where it was experienced, where was it experienced? Apart from the self? No. In the self, the duality was experienced. Na pruthang, na apruthang kinchit. It is not separate and it is not separate. This is illusion. This is Maya. Iti tattvavido viduhu. This is what is known by the knowers of the truth. The knowers of the truth, three statements is made. Three statements are made over here. Very important, we should understand this. First quarter, second quarter, third quarter. And the one who knows in this way knows actually the truth of Vedanta. The first statement says over here that in the self there is no plurality. This idam atma bhavena nanatvam na. In the self there is no manyness, there is no duality. Second statement, over here it is said svena pi kathanchidna. Other than me, the manyness is experienced in me and not other than me. So if at all I experience the illusion of the world, the illusory world is experienced by whom? By the self that I am. I, the truth where there is no duality, it is me, the non-dual truth, who experiences manyness. This is to say that the illusion is not apart from me. Illusion is in me. Now the third statement is very profound. Na pruthak, na apruthak kinchit. This Maya, when we say this world, what is this world? This world of illusion, this world of Maya, this world which is projected, this projection is non-different from Brahman. And it is not non-different from Brahman. Arey Ram Ram Ram, what are you trying to say? What is said over here is this Maya is neither separate from Brahman nor is it in Brahman. Meditate upon this. We have to understand this. Why is this Maya? It is neither separate from Brahman nor is this Maya, plurality, not separate from Brahman. The fantastic show that we see of this illusory universe, how did it come? Because the first statement said, in consciousness, it alone is and there is no manyness. So the first statement said Brahman alone is. Second statement came and said the manyness seen is not apart from Brahman. That means it is in Brahman. Now the third statement is saying the manyness which is seen is not different from Brahman nor is it apart from Brahman. Meaning the third statement is trying to say that if at all you see the projection is the power of Brahman, Maya. That Maya is not separate from Brahman. The Maya is the power of Brahman to make a non-dual dual. If you don't understand, close your eyes and think of Bhagavan. I see confused faces. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it. Just remember Bhagavan. One day you will get it. If manyness was seen, how? It was projected by whom? The power of Brahman. The power of Brahman, it projected for some people. So, it had to be non-separate from it, which allowed to project. But for a Jnani, there is no projection, so there is no Maya, so there is no power of Brahman. That is all this is trying to say. So from the standpoint of Jnani, from the standpoint of the knower of truth, Brahman has no power. From the standpoint of a confused student sitting in front of that knower of truth, the Jnani has to say, this power is in Brahman, because of which you are seeing, I am not seeing. Okay, that is all this is trying to say. These are powerful karikas, very important to understand the standpoints of beings. This is the standpoint of absolute, the knower of the truth. This is the standpoint of mumukshu who wants to go over there. And this is a standpoint of the projected world of a confused person who doesn't even realize that they are confused. So samsari, mumukshu and Jnani. In the Jnani, there is only self. First statement. When the Jnani becomes a guru and is teaching to a mumukshu, the Jnani tells the mumukshu, you are seeing the projection, it is in you. That is the second statement. The knower of the truth teaching the non-knower of the truth who wants to know and tells him, you are confused, you are seeing projection. Where is this projection? In you. That is the second statement. Third statement, this Jnani is talking to this mumukshu who has now become a Jnani. The teacher is talking to the student. He's still his student, but the student has got it. And the student says, Advaitameva Jayate. And that student now says, Aha, na pruthak kinchit. That Maya is part of Brahman. But that Maya is not part of Brahman. That Maya is part of Brahman because when he opens his eyes and sees the play of the world, Bhagavan's Maya. But when he goes and sits down and meditates, there is no such thing as Maya. Three standpoints, understand them well. Okay? Iti tattvavido viduhu. This is the knower of the truth. Now comes four karikas which are nothing but upadesh to us. The teaching, highest teaching about the Brahman is over. Now, what about all of us left sitting in this room? What am I going to do now? So now, Gaudapadacharya ji takes his pen to reveal to us how did the Jnani become a Jnani. That is to be known. It is one thing to say consciousness is, and to define consciousness. But who do we define consciousness for? Define consciousness is only for a student who wants to reach. The definition of consciousness serves no purpose for the knower of the truth, and it serves no purpose for the person who has no desire to know the truth. Isn't it? So the definition of truth is only for the one who says, I want to know the truth. So if I say I want to know the truth, then the next question is how? So next 4 karikas, he very beautifully explains. Vitaraga bhaya krodhaihi
Vitaraga bhaya krodhaihi
Munirbhirveda paragaihi
Munirbhirveda paragaihi
Nirvikalpo hyayam drushtaha
Nirvikalpo hyayam drushtaha
Prapanchopashamodvayaha
Prapanchopashamodvayaha.
You imagine Gaudapadacharya ji has summarized the whole Bhagavad Gita not in one shloka, half a shloka. First line is the summary of Bhagavad Gita. 3 things Gaudapadacharya ji enumerates. Vitaraga bhaya krodhaihi, 1. Munibihi, 2nd. And the third is Veda paragaihi is the third one. These 3 things are the summary of the 6 chapters, 3 sections of Bhagavad Gita. This Vitaraga bhaya krodhaihi is the first 6 chapters, known as Karma Yoga. By the sadhana, the spiritual practice of Karma Yoga, may one dissolve one's own attachment, fear and anger. Arjuna's question was, Atha kena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha? Bhagavan answered, Kamesha krodhesha. And what does krodha do? Bhaya. And what else? Raga. So all the entire teaching is over here, Karma Yoga, that may one purify oneself by becoming detached. Very important. Because if this world is an illusion, and if we are attached to illusion, how will we give up illusion? How can we give up illusion? That father who takes the son for a magic show. The magic show is only 1 hour. But at the end of 1 hour, the child is crying, I want to watch another show. And that father, Arey, it was a magic show, over. No, Appa, I want to watch another one. Father happens to have time, okay, we'll watch the second show. One day they have to go away from that. He has other responsibilities. One day they have to leave that magic hall. So one day we have to leave this magic show. Otherwise, forcefully that father drags that boy, crying and tantrums and all those things will go through. That is like Yamraj dragging us out of our life, and we are not ready to leave. We are not prepared to die. Imagine the plight of the jiva who doesn't want to leave. and Yama has arrived. Difficult. Our Chinmayananji went to Uttarkashi to take his Guru, Gurudev, Taponji Maharaj, I'll take you to Delhi. And his response was, why in Delhi Yama doesn't come? He said, no, he's been waiting for a long time. You go. And Chinmayananji reaches Delhi and he gets the letter that Gurudev is no more. By the time he comes, everything is over. In those days, you imagine 2 days just to reach Delhi, 2 days just to go back to Uttarkashi. So, he was prepared. Tapovanji Maharaj, every day he was prepared. Vitaraga. And where there is no raga, no attachment, there is no bhaya, no fear. And where there is no fear, there is no anger. Somebody mistreats us. Somebody does something wrong. Chinmayananji used to say, suck it up and live it. Drop it in your knowledge. Suck up your problems of life. Don't complain. And he actually lived that way, Gurudev. The problems created by diabetes on the physical form. The insulin injections over here in those days, the needles were not butterfly needles. There was like huge, big needles poking 3 times a day. This was a rock. Nothing left in his legs. Then they started over here. But no complaint. No complaint. People know they are not supposed to give him payasam. He will eat it. And then double dose insulin. For the sake of people. So, there is no bhaya, there is no krodha, raga. So, karma yoga. And he lived till the last, he did his karma yoga till the last breath. Gita, Jnana, Yajnas have to go on. So, he did that. Muni bihi. When it is said Muni bihi, what is implied is upasana. One cannot become a Muni by upasana. So the whole middle section of Bhagavad Gita is summarized by Muni bihi. Divyam dadami te chakshuhu. How? Upasana. Divya Chakshu, how did it come? Oh Bhagavan. Continuously remembering the Lord. Upasana. Grace of Bhagavan opens the Divya Chakshu. And Veda Paragaihi Jnana Yoga. What is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Prakriti? What is Purusha? Where will we know that? Vedas. Where else? Who can teach me about Kshetra and Kshetrajna other than Bhagavad Gita or Upanishad? Where will I learn about it? So, Vedas are the praman for Atma Tattva, and the person gets what they want and they go beyond it. They don't get stuck in it. That is Veda Paragaihi. Because it is an infinite ocean of Shastra. Swami Akhandanji Maharaj used to say, Ganga में डुबकी लगानी है दूसरी ओर निकलने के लिए. You dive into Ganga Ji to come out on the opposite side. You don't keep on taking dips in it, otherwise you will drown. Purpose of going to a river is take a bath and come out of it. So like that he used to say, different examples he used to give. Veda Paragaihi, ocean of Vedas, in one birth we definitely cannot master everything. Get what is required and move out. Become a jnani. And that is why teacher is very important, because what is required will be delivered by the teacher. That first line summarizes the entire 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Nirvikalpo hyayam drushtaha, and having seen this nirvikalpaha, this self, in totally devoid of all types of duality, prapancho upashama advaya. This prapancha, the very fantastic show of the five elements, Maya, the show of Maya, universe, advaya, non-dual, may one come to enjoy the nirvikalpaka abidance. Next sadhana we will see tomorrow, another very beautiful one, and with this I'll give a summary of the 5 sadhanas we are supposed to get out of Vedantic teaching. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Tomorrow we'll have class.